Ooga fucking ooga cunts, it's Schmeckle. I recently received an email from Patreon detailing some changes to how they'll be charging patrons. Any of you who give money to somebody through Patreon should have received a similar email, but just in case any of you have missed it, I'd like to make sure that, at the very least, those of you who give me money know what's going on. But before I do, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank my patrons. I'm by no means making a huge amount of money on Patreon, but every single dollar helps. To those of you who've been taking money out of your own pockets and sending it my way, I want you to know that it is highly appreciated. Thank you. Now with that out of the way, let's get into this. Roll the shit! This is the email that Patreon sent out to content creators.
Dear creator, in order to continue our mission of funding the creative class, we're always looking for ways to do what's best for you, creators. With that, we're writing to tell you of a change we're making, so that all Patreon creators take home exactly 95% of every pledge, with no additional fees. Aside from Patreon's existing 5% fee, you may notice that your income on Patreon varies because of processing fees every month. Your patrons may not even be aware that you actually take home a lower percentage of their intended pledges because of it. Our goal is to make your paycheck as predictable as possible, so we're restructuring how these fees are paid. A new service fee of 2.9% plus 35 cents will be paid by patrons for each individual pledge starting on December 18th. This streamlines fees for both creators and patrons to ensure that you pay no more than 5%. Here's what you can expect. On December 18th, we'll apply the fee for patrons and notify them of this change. We're also sending an email to all patrons tomorrow, December 7th, to share the information about this upcoming change. We ran experiments to understand patrons' potential reactions, and we found that many patrons were happy knowing that this change will send more money to creators. If you'd like to chat about this change with your patrons, we've provided verbiage in our FAQ here.
Etc., etc. So essentially, Patreon has decided that it makes sense to change from their current model of taking the processing fees out of what goes to the creator to taking those fees from the patron instead, which means increasing what each pledge you make costs you, the patron. This is something that will affect nobody in a positive way. Not you, the patrons, not us, the content creators, and not Patreon themselves. In other words, Patreon fucked up. It can't be put any more simply than that. They made a stupid fucking decision. See, the vast majority of patrons donate small amounts. This is because, while they may be generous people, not everybody is able to donate large amounts of their hard-earned money. Not everybody can afford to do so, and that's where the issue comes in. Let's use one of my patrons as an example. She puts $25 toward giving people money on Patreon each month. At the current rates, this allows her to donate $5 to 5 people. With the new rates, she will be forced to either pay the increased prices, a loss for her, the patron, to donate less to each creator, or to donate to less creators, a loss for us, the creators, or to stop donating at all, a loss for both the creator and for Patreon themselves. And this is for a lady that donates $25 a month. Where do you think the majority of those who can only afford to donate $1 or $2 are gonna go? Away. They'll go away. That's where they're gonna fucking go. Away. They're gonna leave. As I said, this decision benefits nobody. They fucked up. Now before I wrap this up, I want to say to all of my patrons, either here or on the Cuntstream, while I do really appreciate your donations, I do understand if you're unable to continue because of these new fees. I won't hold it against you, I promise. I'm not exactly surviving off of Patreon. I will, however, urge you to check out Maker Support, a new website that just might be a good replacement for Patreon. I don't know a whole lot about it, but I've set up an account and the link is below. Who knows, maybe this one won't run itself into the fucking ground. And that's all I wanted to say, cunts. Remember to check out the Cuntstream every Wednesday and Saturday at 11 PM EST, as well as Cunt Team Beta on the Cuntstream channel every Monday at the same time. And that's fucking it, cunts. Now fuck off! Why have I been ignored for so long?